the people who are increasing the prices. But then we know that it is a whole, web of things that boils down to the market prices, and this is affected by so many things. But I'm not the economist. Richard F. Inoyo is my guest, and he's joining us via telephone right now. Richard, it's so good to have you join us. Good evening. Hello, Richard.
Me?
Yes, I can hear
Can
you
you hear
now.
me?
Yes, I can hear you
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Good evening. It's so good to have you join us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Great. It's interesting when the federal government says that they're going to clamp down on cartels and traders, those who are inflating the price of goods and commodities in the open market. When many people would tell you that, like I said in my opener, that it's a whole web of things, from the people, from the transportation to, the people who sell it to the people who buy it and sell in the market. It's a whole, web of things. But you're the economist, and there are people who also argue that the people in the markets are being just a little too greedy, because in Nigeria we always look for an opportunity to, increase prices of goods and services.
Okay, now my response to that is, please, pardon my use of English.
Yeah, we're getting too many distortions and we can barely hear you. Are you using an
Can you hear me?
earpiece? Are you using an
Yeah, can you hear
earpiece?
me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but there's a distortion. I don't know if you're using an earpiece. You need to do away with it because it's not letting us
Can you
hear
hear me
you.
now?
Yes, better.
Okay, let me, please, pardon my use of English. Okay? If there's any institution to clamp down on as regards the rise in the price of goods and services in this country, should be the Nigerian government.
How so?
The Nigerian government is the very government increasing the price of things in this country. What you're seeing from the traders, from the marketers, and the producers, basically just a response to what the federal government is doing as regard the rise in price of goods and services. Let me give you three major examples. Since when this regime came into office, the first thing they did was to increase the price of PMX. They used the word subsidy removal just to do what? To increase the price at which you can buy a liter of PMX.
Mm-hmm.
Before now, we used to buy PMX at a rate of about 2.97, if not 1.97. Currently, you can't buy for it for less than 591 naira in anywhere in Nigeria. As I speak to you right now, in most filling stations across the country, there's been increase in the price of oil just within the last 3 days.
Yes, I heard.
So the government basically is not going to those filling stations to clamp down on them. They're going to ordinary, as in businesses, to clamp down on those businesses. So that goes to show clearly that the government understands what the government is doing. It's just trying to denigrate, dehumanize, and criminalize genuine, hard-working businessmen and women in this country, while at the same time the government is facilitating the rise in the price of goods and services. Just like I said, the government has increased the price of the PMX as one. The same government has increased the price of energy tariff. Access to energy has increased from about 65 naira to over 225 naira per unit.
Mm-hmm.
The same government has also increased the cost of borrowing in this country by increasing interest rates to over 24%. The same government has devalued the naira such that you have to now have more naira to buy few goods. So what you see in the exchange cargo terminals in a lot of the ports in this country is the government fixing the price of the dollar as against the naira. Let me quickly chip in this.
Mm-hmm.
As of last year, I was in charge of the research for an organization that needed some credit facility from the World Bank.
Mm-hmm.
And in the document the World Bank sent to that institution, the World Bank said they are pegging the naira to 300 naira per dollar. 300 naira per dollar. That was the document we received from World Bank then. As it is today, the cost of the naira is over about 1,200 naira per dollar, as it is today in the parallel market. So if you ask me, I'll tell you that the government is just trying to live through the irony or the contradiction of acting as if they care, while in the recent they don't care. They have no right, let me clarify that, going to people's businesses and telling them how much they sell. If the government really wants the price of things to drop, what the government needs to do is to reverse the tariff to what it was in pre-May 29, reverse as in the price of PMX to what it was in pre-May 29, also reverse the interest rate, the borrowing rate, the monetary policy rate, as well as also reverse the devaluation of the naira. If these four things are done, I can guarantee you transportation will drop, cost of production will drop, and naturally, the cost of buying goods and services in this country will just go down. So all these things we're seeing is just the government not being willing to truly address the price mechanism that is rising every day and that is causing households to spend more on few commodities, at the same time getting them to lose their disposable income just because we elect or a new government came in just to frustrate the kitchen economics in most households.
Richard, let me take you on the fact that you're saying that the federal government has no right. I'll read you a message that's credited to the FCCPC, which is, of course, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. This is what their boss said, and I quote, "This situation is unacceptable, and the FCCPC is committed to protecting consumers from exploitation." He also went on to say the FCCPC understands the significant financial strain that these rising prices are placing on Nigerian households. As a result, the Commission is taking proactive steps to address this. He says this includes monitoring and investigating unusual price hikes, addressing complaints filed by consumers, and taking action against any businesses found to be engaging in anti-competitive prices, such as price fixing, price gouging, and of course, cartel formation. And these are things that the FCCPC says falls under their purview, but you're saying that they have no right. On the one hand, they're saying, well, we think that people are taking advantage of this situation, so yes, we have a right, because it is within the purview of our jurisdiction or our duties as a commission.
They are not speaking for the Nigerian people. Please, let me clarify that. They're trying to destroy the business sector. I've made it clear to you that if truly they want to speak for the Nigerian people, they should go after the energy market operators. They should force down the price of tariff. They should force down the price of oil. They're not doing these two things. They've been so silent. In fact, the truth is that you're just going after what I call middle class or Nigerians who are not that powerful, who are just doing their business, trying to survive. We need to ask ourselves, what is the history of this new economy we're seeing? We have to look at it. Why would anybody want to increase their price? If I buy something at a rate of, let's say, 15,000 naira in the past, and today, for me to buy that same thing, I need about 45,000 naira. You don't expect me to sell at the price of 15,000 naira that I used to buy before. Example we can take is the rice. As of 2 years ago, a bag of rice was about 35,000 naira or less. Today, it's going for over 85,000 naira. How do you expect anyone to buy rice at the rate of 85,000 naira and want to sell to you and I for less than 85,000 naira? That will be business suicide. So the fact still remains that the government is not sincere, and the Consumer Protection Council of this country, from the federal level, is also not sincere. If they are truly sincere as regard protecting the right of consumers, they need to ask themselves, how can we be buying PMX in this country at a rate of over 591 naira? In some place today, I bought for a while, I was driving out for about 680 naira per liter. I don't think the PMX I bought today is even worth my money, because I shouldn't be paying that high for just foil. So if they are truly sincere and they want to defend the right of Nigerian people, they have to go to the PHCN across the country, the power holding company in this country, the discos and what have you, and tell them to review their tariff downward. The same way, they also need to do more to ensure that the current price at which Nigerians are buying PMX is totally unacceptable, and they have to send a clear message to the presidency. The immediate past executive director of the FC, of the Consumer Protection as council of this country, was sacked. One of the reasons why that guy was sacked was because he even said that the federal government was supposed to pay a particular amount of money, okay, due to the fact that federal government breached some provisions. And maybe they never really liked. In fact, when I heard the guy sounding that way on TV, I told someone close to me that sooner or later they will have this man sacked. And today they sacked him. So the truth here is that they're just trying to play to the gallery. You and I know clearly that there's no way on earth I'm going to buy for at a rate of less than 618 naira per liter, where in the past I used to buy for 187 naira per liter, and I'll be selling the same product I'm producing in my factory, the same price at which I'm now currently producing. It's not going to work. So let's not tell this government they are getting it right when we know they are not getting it right. Because the fundamental of our economics today is a shambles. Don't forget, if you look at the recent reports, even though I don't like to quote the likes of International Monetary Fund, they said that countries like China, United States, UK, and other key countries in Europe, they are using subsidy to drive the economy. That simply means they are making access to energy cheaper, access to credit cheaper, and they are doing everything within their power to become competitive.
Okay.
Down here in Nigeria, we're seeing the reverse. The federal government is getting us to pay more for product that we're supposed to pay less for. How do you justify that? And that is the reason why we're seeing massive exits of companies, both local and international, from this country to elsewhere. Why? Because they can't cope with the cost of production. Overhead is rising. Outside the fact that it is today, just recently they've increased tariff for what? For the darkness they sell to Nigerian people. If truly we want this economy to work, if truly we want the reversal of price in this country, what we need to do is to get the president to wake up tomorrow morning and announce that from now on, oil will be sold for 187 naira per liter.
But that's impossible,
tariff.
Richard. That's like wishing upon a dream. It's not going to happen.
My sister, it's possible.
How is it possible?
If it's not possible, I will not be on this program today. It is possible. It is doable. Nigerians must first of all, okay, let me give you two instances. Since when they increased the price of PMX, what are we seeing? Senators buying XUV. Senators across the country and House of Rep member, they are now driving XUV worth over 160 million. And the reason and the excuse they gave was our roads are bad. That's one. Two, we've also seen the same senators themselves taking over £1 billion in the name of the fact that they are senior senators who came back to the House of Assembly. Where in the world would people behave that way? That goes to show that the excess money that's been generated from forcing Nigerian people to buy fuel at a very high rate, that money is being used for extravaganza. And that money is being used just to compensate people that have no business going on with so huge amount of money. So my sister, first, it is possible. The problem facing this country is not lack of money. The problem facing this country is the mismanagement of the credit scores we're having.
Okay.
Until when we start managing rightly the resources we earn from either crude oil or from the as a forex market, money coming in from Nigerians who live abroad and sending home remittances, or from the money we generate from the custom or from our tax offices, until when we start using that money judiciously, I can tell you, regardless of how much amount of money we make in this country, we'll still end up having the government telling us they are subsidizing one thing and the other thing. In fact, look at the joke today. This president came in telling us that subsidy is gone. Today we're hearing other people saying that they are subsidizing the dollar and that they are still paying subsidy for. It's just a funny thing. The word subsidy is now being used by the government to justify punishing Nigerian people whenever they want to increase the price of either PMX or energy tariff or creating new room to torture the Nigerian people. And we're saying that this is not going to help the Nigerian economy, because if we cannot produce the things we consume due to the fact that the cost of production and the cost of transmission is high, what that simply means in the recess, we'll keep depending on foreign, as in products, to be able to drive our domestic, residential, industrial, and commercial objectives. And that is not good.
Okay.
So we have to all come together and start stating clearly that the government can and the government should reverse the price of PMX to what it was pre-May 29, reverse as in the current as an hike in tariff to what it was pre-May 29, and also value the Naira upward, and then also reduce the interest rate. If these four things are done, I can guarantee you the economy will keep back to the right direction and the price of things will naturally fall down.
Richard,
The only reason why we see the rise in the price of goods today is because the cost of access to energy is high, cost of transportation is high, cost of production is high, even cost of import is now high because you need more naira to have access to just few dollars.
Richard, I have so many questions, but we have to go on a quick break. When we come back from that break, there are those who are of the school of thought that in Nigeria, when the prices of things go up, they never come down. Does the FCCP actually have a point in that regard? Hold your thought. When we come back, we'll continue talking. Richard Inoyo is with us here on Balogun Broad. Stay with us.
Every parent wants to see their child growing up happy and healthy. Introducing Renzo Vitamins for Kids, a secret to your child's daily nutrition and boundless joy. With Renzo Vitamins, your child will have the energy to embrace every moment and unlock their full potential. Give your child a head start in life with Renzo Vitamins for Kids, because a happy child is a healthy child.
Renzo's! Compressed natural gas. Not the fuel, oh yeah. Better for your car, better for your pocket, and your environment. Better energy for car owners. Obonga fuel for transporters. And say,
my people, renewed hope don dey shele. Compressed natural gas (CNG) na the way. This one not be for cooking, oh. Now to put for your car. It is cheaper than petrol and diesel. It dey burn clean and run smooth. You know they contaminate engine oil with yama lie with CNG as well. Your motor go badwam. Your pocket go like your environment self go enjoy am. So therefore, forward march go any certified conversion centers when near you for Lagos, Abuja, Ogun, Kaduna, Rivers, etc. Go convert your vehicle to use compressed natural gas CNG now. CNG, cheaper fuel for better living.
New Lafarge water shield cement now confirm. Number one waterproof cement for Nigeria. Yeah. Obonga cement for waterlogged areas. Number one waterproof cement for Nigeria. Yeah. New Lafarge water shield cement number one. New Lafarge waterproof cement now confirm. One time. Put full stop. Yeah. For water wahala, with Lafarge water shield cement, water go collect. If water jam house, or the foundation and basement to call, no shaking. Obonga cement for water logged areas. Number one waterproof cement for Nigeria. Lafarge, the confirm cement. New Lafarge water shield cement, not confirm.
Put full stop for water wahala.
Nigerian Idol is back.
The stage don't set, Ona go scream tire. When you hear all the sabi contestants, the new judges, Omawumi, Nice, and Rick Hazani don't prepare. But now you will wait for. Run, go arrange your Go TV. Ready your vote and your voice to hail our superstars may they shine.
Yes, so watch Nigerian Idol Season 9 from the 21st of April by 7 p.m. on Africa Magic. Go TV. Love it.
Mommy, my teacher said 90% of my brain will develop by the time I am 5.
Really? What else did she say?
She said I need iron in my food for my brain to grow well.
Oh, very true. And that's why I give you Cerelac Junior every day, which provides half of your daily iron needs.
And Cerelac Junior tastes so good.
Cerelac Junior with Iron Plus. It's all good, Mom.
It's like every other year, my wife wants to paint, and her own kind of budget just makes me want to faint. 50 pockets of paint? Make it make sense. I'm only dropping cheddar if it's using Santex.
Santex? Yes, Santex. The amazing durability is more than mere text. Rich quality paint within your budget. So make the smart choice. Paint with Santex.
Can't go wrong
With a smart choice. Santex paint. Smart choice.
Paint your dreams on the walls of your reality. Choose Santex paints for its rich quality, vibrant colors, and long-lasting coats. Available at authorized Santex paint distributors across Nigeria. Santex paint, the smart choice.
I remember being screamed at. The customer was not going to pay for the Bantu nuts. But giving up was not an option then.
And it isn't now. Not even fear can stop me. Be fearless. Be beautiful with Lush Hair. Lush Hair. Be beautiful.
Who says you can't have it all with one play?
I got that defined point. You have just won yourself.
Congratulations.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, Melitus. One player, don't talk to two players because you won 20K.
So now you won yourself 20,000 naira. My name is Well Done. Okay, well done. I want to tell you, well done. You won yourself 20,000 naira.
With 500 naira, you can play to win big. From 120,000 naira to 190,000 naira daily on Nigeria Info. Go to oneplay.ng and play with 500 naira. And in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. Or dial *347*880*3#. Win daily on Nigeria Info. 50,000 naira on Money Crossfire. 60,000 naira on WhatsApp Lagos. 20,000 naira on Sunnyside. And 60,000 naira on Game On. So Lagos, what are you waiting for? The more you play, the better your chances of winning. Remember to dial *347*880*3#. Play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18.
Meals have a way of taking us on a journey. And when you add plenty of vegetables like efo, ugu, and season with the rich taste of North seasoning cubes, even better.
So, go ahead and elevate your meals with more vegetables and the rich taste of Knorr cubes. Today, eat for good.
Dollar no go shame us.
Ìwọ Ọlọ́run, dollar no go shame us.
Kai you go lie. This dollar for no go shame us.
Dollar shame me ke. E no fit. As a business owner where I be, prices of goods dey increase every minute, and e no even dey funny. Before I buy market for my shop, dem go say e don increase.
Hello, madam, price don increase o.
Shey you see wetin I dey talk? Na until Clan Africa begin supply my market. This one no be loan o. Dem go supply my market or pay my supplier sharp before price go up. I go begin sell, dey pay small. Now you see why dollar no fit shame me.
If you no wan make you the worry say price go increase, before you go buy your market, time don reach. Make Clan Africa begin supply your market or pay your supplier. Or message us for WhatsApp 090-5353-5333 or visit our website at www.clan.africa. With Clan Africa, you fit get your market today. Make dollar no go shame you.
Every morning, na better chance to carry your hustle go higher level. So, make you start your day with the correct taste of Nescafe. Start strong, finish strong. Nescafe.
It's time to live the good life, oh. Secure the bag with iInvest. With iInvest, secure the bag. With iInvest, secure the bag. With iInvest, secure the bag.
Yes, iInvest is one way to build lasting wealth. Buy Nigerian equities. Get higher interest rates on fixed deposits and savings. Visit www.i-investng.com to access a wide range of other financial products that offer good returns on your investments. All transactions are done through regulated financial institutions. iInvest. Let's help you secure the bag.
You define better odd. I bet you one play correct cost. Over 1.5, I bet you one bet. Say, both seem no go score at all. Yeah, we get better payout. No worry, we there for you. Our odd, chabrat out. In all the finish, oh, lo, we there for you. Oh, we there for you. You see, for Bet Baba, we win money. Bet Baba, cash out the day easy. For Bet Baba, we get online games for you. To play, I got that I want. Yeah, we get better bonus. Money me no dano. Yeah, now Bet Baba day so. Cash out no sharp. Oh darling, no. Welcome to Bet Baba.
Register now on betbaba.ng. Not for people under 18.
It's like every other year. My wife wants to paint, and her own kind of budget just makes me want to faint. 50 buckets of paint? Make it make sense. I'm only
dropping cheddar if you're using Santex.
Santex? Yes, Santex. The amazing durability is more than mere text. Rich quality paint within your budget. So make the smart choice. Paint to Santex. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with a smart choice. Santex paint. Santex paint. Smart choice.
Paint your dreams on the walls of your reality. Choose Santex paints for its rich quality, vibrant colors, and long-lasting coats. Available at authorized Santex paint distributors across Nigeria. Santex paint, the smart choice.
In a move to boost the economy and tackle rising living costs, the government has removed the controversial subsidy. As a result, transportation expenses have soared and the cost of living has become a burden for many. Introducing compressed natural gas, or CNG, a game changer. It's safe, eco-friendly, and cost-effective, burning clean and extending your driving range. Head over to certified conversion centers in Lagos, Ogun, Abuja, Kaduna, and Rivers to switch your vehicle to CNG and start enjoying cheaper fuel for a better life. For more details on the PCNGI initiative, send us an email at info@pci.gov.ng or call at 0700 0000264. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram by searching for @PCNG Initiative. Join the CNG revolution today for a brighter and more affordable future.
CNG, cheaper fuel for better living.
Madam, you don't try this new Lush Hair 4-in-1 no lie relaxer kit. We get free neutralizing shampoo and conditioner join.
What? Me, I know deal.
You not even sabi wetin dey happen for town. You see this Lush Hair relaxer so?
E no dey pepper, e no dey burn. E go even make your hair shine like oil.
Na so, Lush Hair relaxer kit na correct. We no go make your hair cut. We no go make your hair dry. E no dey pepper and e dey relax hair well. Come buy your own.
Lush Hair. Be beautiful.
When long throat don't make you chop as belleful, waka quick back to nature like our old mama and papa demo. Now the bitter with them food bitter, they wake up mouth and stomach to begin work on top the food to waka ready where they.
Yo bitters they clean body inside out. If body no get dirty, the immune system go work well. Yo bitters they buy waist pain, constipation, and it gets correct vitamins them to make body they gym. Yo bitters.
Yo bitters available in supermarkets and pharmacy stores nationwide.
Enjoy the delicious creamy goodness of Cowbell. Cowbell contains Vitarich and vitamin B9, which supports brain development. Use Cowbell in your tea, cereal, pap, and other meals of choice. Cowbell, so creamy, so good.
It's like every other year. My wife wants to paint, and her own kind of budget just makes me want to faint. 50 pockets of paint? Make it make sense. I'm only dropping cheddar if it's using Santex.
Santex? Yes, Santex. The amazing durability is more than mere text. Rich quality paint within your budget. So make the smart choice. Paint to Santex. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with a smart choice. Santex paint. Santex paint. Smart choice.
Paint your dreams on the walls of your reality. Choose Santex paints for its rich quality, vibrant colors, and long-lasting coats. Available at authorized Santex paint distributors across Nigeria. Santex paint, the smart choice.
For how much? That's how you react when you see really high prices for rides. But there's no reason to worry, because with InDrive, you can always offer a fair deal and not just hope for it. Use InDrive and negotiate for the most fair price for you. InDrive, people driven.
The InDrive online passenger transportation aggregator is not a taxi service. Find more information at www.indrive.com.
Madam, you don't try this new Lush Hair 4-in-1 no lie relaxer kit. We get free neutralizing shampoo and conditioner join.
What? Me, I know deal.
You not even sabi wetin dey happen for town. You see this Lush Hair relaxer so?
E no dey pepper, e no dey burn. E go even make your hair shine like oil.
Na so, Lush Hair relaxer kit na correct. We no go make your hair cut. We no go make your hair dry. E no dey pepper and e dey relax hair well. Come buy your own.
Lush Hair. Be beautiful.
Mommy, my teacher said 90% of my brain will develop by the time I am 5.
Really? What else did she say?
She said I need iron in my food for my brain to grow well.
Oh, very true. And that's why I give you Cerelac Junior every day, which provides half of your daily iron needs.
And Cerelac Junior tastes so good.
Cerelac Junior with Iron Plus. It's all good, Mom.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hatchback. Whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories, you know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Marian Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, we're back. It's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. We went on that break so that when we come back, we would open up the phone lines to take your thoughts and comments. Now, if you sell in the market, you are an importer, or maybe you obviously are a large-scale business person, so you sell to the people in the open markets. This conversation obviously involves each and every one of us. And the FCCPC saying they're going to clamp down on what they call I like it, cartels, price fixing cartels, and they started already in Abuja. But my guest is saying that what they're doing is wrong, is against the law. He's saying that if government wants to ameliorate our sufferings, then they need to bring down the price of PMS. They have to deal with the issues of importation. In fact, Richard, I was going to ask you a question before we went on that break. The fact that when prices of things in the market go up, they never come down. Also, there are people who have said that when they import, maybe when they were importing something, it was about, they were expecting to pay about 10 million at the port. You get to the port and it's double or triple the price. How do you expect them to sell those commodities in the open market as a cheaper rate? Please help us answer that question before I open up the phone lines.
I agree with you. I think your statement is clearly intelligent. What you've said is just reality on ground. So if we're talking about clamping down on any institution, the government must first of all clamp down on itself, because it's very important the government recognize the source of this problem. The source of this problem is not the marketers or the producers of these commodities or the sellers of these commodities. The source of this problem is man-made and is done and still being overseen by the federal government. The federal government is responsible for the hike in the price of goods and services across the country. Clearly, the president and his economic advisors and the executive council just do not want the price of things to go down. I've made it clear.
How do you mean, Richard? They have, the president even put together a very high-powered, tripartite team that would help him with the economy. Aside from the normal National Economic Council that's overseen by the vice president, he's put these people together to help him deal with the economy and bring it to a point where we can all heave a sigh of relief. And you're saying that the government is doing the opposite. I make it make sense.
To you that I made it just like I think it was one of these philosopher that said, I can't really place his name. He said, we should not judge government based on the policy of government, but we should judge government based on the reality on ground. As far as we're concerned, let's just be honest with ourselves. This regime does not want to solve the inflation problem. That's just the clear truth. Look at what happened in UK. When UK was battling with inflation, the government in UK gave subsidy. They went as far as also reducing the interest rate. Okay? So it's clear, for more indication, that if truly you want to address this issue today, what we just need to do is to get the president to wake up tomorrow morning and say, I'm announcing clearly from now on, all filling stations would have to sell for at a rate of 187 naira per liter or 197 naira per liter. And we're going to reduce the tariff from the current 225 naira to something downward. And we're also going to reduce the interest rate to a single digit interest rate, not a double digit that we currently have that is extremely high.
Okay.
Then third, the president would also have to do what? Revalue the naira and probably get the naira to move around, let's say, 300 naira per dollar.
Okay.
As long as they refuse to tell the president this simple truth, which I know clearly he knows, because don't forget, way back when Jonathan was trying to increase the price of PMX, the president, alongside the opposition party then, rose up and gave all of this problem that would likely happen if the Jonathan regime goes on with the increase in the price of PMX. In fact, the protests in Lagos forced the then Jonathan regime to reverse the price. That's what I'm telling you, that if we can get at least 5 to 10 million Nigerians across the country protesting against this hike in price of PMX, I can guarantee you the president will have no other option but do what? Review the price that we're currently selling both energy and PMX in this country, as well as the value of the naira against the dollar.
All right, Richard, let's take some calls and some messages. I have so many already that are coming in. Someone here says, your guest is not speaking like an economist, he says. He says he does not have details of how economies of countries work. Yes, there is corruption, but subsidizing or selling petrol at 100 or 200 is impossible as long as we import. Yes, countries subsidize various areas of the economy, but not what they import. He's saying that you should be realistic. You're speaking about utopian economy, not reality. And he says there is inflation all over the world. Anywhere you import products from, you are paying high prices. Perhaps you want us to continue to subsidize using World Bank and other multilateral institution loans. Care to respond quickly?
Okay, let me quickly respond. The question here is, why have we not been producing our own PMX? Why do we have to import PMX into this country? The fact that we have over 70 billion barrels of crude oil in this country, and we don't have functional refinery run by the government, not necessarily private individuals, run by the government, goes to show that the government itself is not living up to its responsibility. So subsidy is not even the conversation. The conversation is, why are we not fixing our refineries to work? The fact that we want to rely on a private company refinery to provide us the energy we need to be able to drive our industrial and commercial objectives, I still think is totally responsible. So if the person who wrote that text, if the person is truly honest with his or herself, he would have probably asked, why is it that we have to import our PMX? Why can't we just have refineries like the Port Harcourt refineries, the Warri refineries, as well as the Kaduna refineries? There was only one proposed in Calabar then in 1989. Why are all these refineries not working? So if truly we want to talk about importation or we want to end importation of PMX, we're supposed to be talking about the need for us to fix our refineries. Obviously, this regime has given us several arguments as regards when our refineries work. They've done nothing. So I'm not a politician, so I'm not interested in the politics. But the clear issue here is that if we truly want to drive the economy to a point where we can have excess production, we cannot do that by increasing the cost of energy. No. We cannot do that by increasing the cost of PMX. No.
Okay.
We cannot do that by increasing the interest rate, the monetary policy rate, upon which everyone claims. So the truth here is that if that person who wrote that text, if the person is truly honest, the person will know that if we continue the way we are right now, and we keep buying PMX at that high rate and energy cost is rising, inflation won't come down.
Okay.
The poor will suffer. In fact, there's an argument that was made some time ago that the subsidy regime didn't profit the poor. That is why the president had to scrap it. The question we need to ask right now, is this current policy of no subsidy, in quote, is it helping the poor? It has made more Nigerians poorer. It has destroyed the economy. It has forced companies to leave this country. And that is the reality.
All right. Richard,
and the way we can reverse all of that is for us to reverse the price of PMX. And I believe it's doable. If anyone asks me if we can reverse the price of PMX, yes, I believe we can. Because
all right.
if we want the refineries to function, they will function.
Let me take one quick call, Richard, because we're out of time. Let me quickly just take one call and then you respond and we'll wrap things up. Hello.
Yeah, Action Lady, good evening.
Good evening. You have 60 seconds quickly.
Yeah, Richard, thank you very much. You've said it all. Refinery, they promised will start work in March. Almost April ended. What stopped them giving the Ndokwa? There's a refinery at Ndokwa. What stopped them from giving a crude? They are waiting for Dangote own. Buhari said he's going to build 4 refineries, 4 new ones. 8 years, they didn't do anything. Nigerians keep quiet. We take sides with APC government. That is what we are getting back now. Gary is now 3,000 a pen. You are telling. I bought fuel yesterday, 605. 605 per liter yesterday. We all are in for it. I'm waiting for labor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Chris, for calling. Someone here says one paint rubber of Gary in my area is now 3,000 naira because the person grinding the cassava for our mothers increased grinding fee. They use fuel to operate their grinding machine. Tell this APC government to return our darling subsidy. This is Nurse from Igbesha. I want to read one more message. Someone says, America is the world's topmost producer of oil in the world. Is there a refinery owned by the government of America? That's a good question for you, Richard, before we wrap things up
Several
here.
refineries in the United States are owned by the United States government. United States government is so smart that they cannot truly leave the refinery of crude oil in the hands of private organizations. So there are several refineries in the United States. There are many that are owned by the government. Our government owns nothing, yet we have over 70 billion barrels of crude oil. That itself is an irony. It's like a man that has so much cassava, yet the man has no way to move his cassava either to ethanol or move the cassava to Gary. It's a joke. So the fact remains that we must force this government, put this government under pressure to do the right thing. As long as we're depending on importation of PMX into this country, our economy will not be competitive. That is the reality. People can choose to take party line and defend the government for whatever reasons they have. But I'm telling you, if we don't reverse the price of things as regard PMX, as regard energy tariff, as regard the interest rate, as well as the value of the naira, if we don't do that, I can guarantee you the price of things will keep going up and people will suffer, the poor will suffer, businesses will shut down, and at the end of the day, we all will be in for it. The only beneficiaries of this policy will be the politicians.
But you know, Richard, I wish I had time, because you keep saying that they need to reduce this, but we really can't reduce it. So there has to be another way around it. And you just keep saying reduce. Reducing the price of PMS doesn't solve the problem that we have, which is that we still have to send our crude oil outside for it to be, refined, and then we still buy back, and we're paying foreign currency for it. Also, we've been dancing around the whole, Dangote is here. We're going to have, diesel has reduced in price a little bit, but then that doesn't change the cost of things. I'm hoping that I can have you back here, Richard, to talk more about this. Unfortunately, our time is fast spent. Thank you so much for coming. Richard Inoyo is a business analyst, and he's been talking to us on Balogun, bro. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me and my sister.
All right. Well, Lagos, we have to leave it here and go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll be wrapping up, and I'll say my goodbyes properly on the show. Stay with us.
Step ahead with the latest news and trending conversations here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Don't tell people you've added weight. Why are you losing weight?
Yeah.
Eating. No, it's not your business.
That money, the pass is good. That finally.
You should be patient and pray to God that God is going to answer her prayer.
Please, this is not all about prayer. It's not like everything is not prayer. That is Nigerian mentality. It's about finding happiness in your
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube